Good to have you back.
Aww. It's good to be back. Go on, just say it. Oh look, it's the... I was gonna say it's Koopa Paratroopa. I don't know why I wanted to say that. Like, there's nothing there about them that's like Koopa Paratroopa. Well, there's Elmer Fudd there. Hanging his head. Oh, he's dead. Okay. They're having a party. Jimmy Carter's asleep on the couch.
Why, you...
We didn't like that Keenock asshole anyway.
He was a man who craved power. And great power he had, but he feared losing it. Trembling at unseen enemies, he spent his days scheming petty schemes. Chased by his fears, never knowing rest.
What?
See,
so you did him a big
now
favor.
He has no worries. He has been granted sleep eternal. Death is a sweet slumber. All the pain of life is gently swept away. So you see, if all life were to end in Spira, all suffering would end. Don't you see? Do you not agree? That, Yuna, is why I need you. Come, Lady Yuna. Come with me to Zanarkand, the lost city of the dead. With death on our side, we will save Spira. And for this, I will take from you your strength, Yuna, your life, and become the next Sin. I will destroy Spira. I will save it.
You're totally nuts!
I was just gonna say. You're insane, Ganondorf. It's not gonna be that easy, Kamari.
Unpleasant. Very well. I will give you your death. You seem to want it so.
Look, he even got his nails done just for the occasion. Look, he went ahead and killed them as well. He's just crazy. And Seymour just absorbs all the souls. Kamari is still there, like, trembling in fear. Well, I don't know about trembling in fear, but I would be.
Run! Protect Yuna!
What has he even become?
Go!
No way!
He's like that robot guy out of Godzilla.
I said go!
He's like that robot Godzilla, actually, that Robo one. He's like Robo-Ho. It's like Seymour. They should get Seymour to make the next Transformers movie, because he's got the best Transformers. He's like Gallbladder. I love how Titus is the only one, like, shouting.
I won't leave Kamari behind.
He's a guardian. Protecting you is everything.
Losing you is nothing.
That's right. We're all guardians. Yeah, you know what that means? Yuna, anywhere you go, I'll follow.
Anywhere I go.
Yeah, anywhere.
I want to be with you everywhere.
Well then, let's go.
Aww,
Hey,
insane.
Kamari, leave some for us.
Hey, wait for me!
Oh no, Waka has fear of missing
Me
out.
too.
It's like Waka, if we told you
I'll go too.
a couple of days ago you'd be chomping at the bit to beat up a maester, you wouldn't have believed it. I think I'm just going to cut the video somewhere in the middle there because... oh look, there's like, what's his name? There's what's his name? Owaka. Well no, let's just, well, I'm not going to do the sphere grid now at the end of this, but I want to make sure, does she have like reflect? Yes she does, thank you so much. Well that's important. Well maybe I will do the sphere grid, will I? I mean Tidus and Waka and Riku. Well do you know what, it doesn't actually matter. Because like the next boss battle is a bit of a joke anyway, because I know how to cheese it.
Anything you want, I've got it.
As long as you have enough rupees. What does he even have? Buy? Oh, just a load of garbage. Okay.
Traitor or no, Lady Yuna's always been a friend to a Waka.
Waka's like that. Oh, Owaka is like those weird characters that you become friends with in Earthbound, the way you're friends with like Fail-Proof Frank and like Everdread and stuff like that. Just those weirdos that you become friends with. I don't know why it's all gone all blurry all of a sudden, that's weird. I wonder whether you can actually just run away from these battles. Flee.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Because really, they're like the most annoying battles on the face of the earth. It's just these stupid robots, and you can't even use like the steal trick where stealing from them like causes them to break, and you have those like stupid like robots that do the karate kick and launch you off the battlefield. Yeah, see now they're not all blurry, they were all blurry there a second ago. No way am I fighting these clowns. There's no point, it's like all you do is like have this long drawn out battle. Plus, any time that we waste fighting those idiotic robots is time we waste trying to get to our friend Kamari. Now we have these clowns into the bargain. And then they go ahead and do the thing is their attacks take ages as well. Like at least the robots attack quickly, those idiots with the flamethrowers, when they use an attack it takes like 1,000,000 years. I'm not even gonna bother saving. Listen to how much hubris I'm suffering from at the moment. I'm just like, pah, who needs items? Who needs to save?
I won't go so easy on you next time.
I won't go so easy on you next time. Well, that's what we're going to be saying to Seymour up here. Well, I made it, Seymour, despite your directions. Kamari, we're back. We'd never have left you all behind. Here are these two. The two old folks. So this is Seymour Natus is what he's called. And basically there's not just Seymour Natus, there's also this thing called the Morta Body, which is just a scary thing. It's like this weird like embodiment of death that is latched onto Seymour. I'm gonna head and go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Seymour.
So, you too seek freedom from this painful life?
You talk too much, Seymour.
Put a sock in it, Seymour. No, what I'm actually going to do is I'm not going to talk to him yet. I'm going to go ahead and use Reflect on Tidus. And then... See, what I would have liked to do was what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taunting with him. So, well, I might as well use Ronso Rage. And go ahead and just get Seymour's HP down. 2,600 damage, nothing to sneeze at. I'm just gonna say, don't use Desperado, please. So now we should be able to just provoke him. And then we pretty much, well, it's not that we're exactly indestructible, but he's not going to be able to do much to us, let's put it that way. After this, all we really need to do is pretty much like get everyone in here. And I wonder if he has anything to steal from him, actually. Ooh, Tetra Elemental ×2. That's useful. So they're going to do like... The Mortar Body is going to do like these multi-targeting spells. One of them will bounce off of Tida's. And then Seymour is going to use the exact same spell of the same element. Is he still provoked? He's still provoked. That's the one thing that you have to like be really careful of. Is that you want to make sure... Well, no, there's no point in hasting any of them. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to defend. The one thing that you want to make sure you do is... No, I don't want to Bushido him. I want to talk to him. The one thing you want to make sure that you do...
Keenock was still my friend, Seymour. You will pay for his death.
I love that part. Because Oren's just like, I know he was an asshole and he'd lost his way, but he was still my friend. We can talk to him with Yuna as well.
It is good to see you again, Lady Yuna, but you don't seem pleased.
I'll only be pleased when you're gone to the far place.
That's like the first time Yuna really kind of like just like opens up. Well, no, I suppose it's not the first time. The first time she really like opens up and like... The first time she really opens up and is like, you're an asshole, is when she's like going to just send him, like in when she reveals that she's not going to actually when she reveals that she's actually going to send him to the far plane, and that's what she wants to do. So I better make sure he's still provoked. Provoked doesn't really run out though, sure it doesn't. I'm always like paranoid about that, whether it will or not. Okay, so now he's going to use Protect. We can actually go ahead and... We don't have Dispel, sure we don't. I don't think so. Not yet, anyway. But it doesn't matter all that much. What we can do is we can just get Kamari out here. Well, who hasn't had an attack yet? Waka. He hasn't done anything. And he has his Overdrive, so I might as well just use that. And it doesn't really matter what element it is. So... Now we're on Thunder. No, I got it wrong. So we're going to have Electric Fire here. Azula, eat your heart out. So the Mortar Body as well. Now what I could do actually is I could go ahead and you can like take out the Mortar Body, and what it'll do then if you do take it out is it'll if you do attack the Mortar Body and take it out, it'll actually take off 4,000 HP off of Seymour. It'll take 4,000 HP off of Seymour in order to like bring itself back. Now this is the part that where, like, if you weren't cheesing this battle, it's actually extremely challenging because you have to reckon with the timing of both of their attacks. Because what they're going to try and do is they're going to try and use Break to petrify you, and then Shattering Claw in order to basically remove you from the battlefield, and it doesn't even kill the character. You're down to like 2 characters then. So it's actually really challenging, and you can imagine at the start as well, if I had been using damage as an enemy, yeah, I might as well use that. And I think that should probably get rid of his Protect status as well, maybe, I don't know. And you can imagine as well when they're using all of those like multi-hitting elemental attacks, and Seymour is like double casting attacks as well. Like you can imagine how like much of a pain in the ass that is as well. No, he still has Protect. Poison will pretty much be a good way to offset. Poison will pretty much be a really good way to offset the damage that the damage that the mortar body would otherwise be healing. So I'm wondering... No, I'm not going to bother using Bio. Just going to use Blizzara. That the mortar body would otherwise be using to cure Seymour. So he's going to cure him for like 1,000 and something, but the poison does that much anyway. Now what I might do is go ahead and use Slice and Dice. But I don't really want to... Or will I use Spiral Cut? Because it only hits Seymour? Yeah, I might as well. Because Slice and Dice would like hit the mortar body. And you don't actually want to concentrate on the mortar body, because if you take it out, all it'll do is like take HP off of Seymour, so... There we go, what's actually quite a complicated boss battle. Again, just like this game allows you to do, completely torn asunder just by knowing how to exploit one or two things. There are really only a couple of boss battles in this game that don't have, as far as I know anyway, don't have that way of cheesing it. But we won't be seeing them for a while. Even though we're actually...
with our skins intact, but Yuna lost something.
Yeah, she lost her trust in the world.
Her faith was shaken. Yevon had betrayed her. I felt like I should do or say something, anything. But nothing came. I was just as lost as she was. And then...
Oh, this? This is now? Jesus. I was just gonna say, like, we're actually heading into what I would say the last quarter of the game.
We're all clear. We will have to avoid Bevel in the future.
Suits me fine. Even though we didn't actually see any of it. All we saw was Wedding Bowser and then the Cloister Trials. Well, then we saw the Via Purifico.
Of course.
And we got to hear that beautiful music in the Via Purifico. I can't believe I never talked about how much I love the music in that game. Or in that level.
Wonder what Uni'll do, huh? Think she'll quit her pilgrimage?
Nah.
That's what you want, right?
Well... if Uni really wants to keep going...
She'll stick by her.
I guess I shouldn't stop her, you know?
The music in the...
Anyway.
Via Purifico, it always reminds me of the soundtrack to the piano.
Yuna's off in the woods. Kumari's with her, but maybe you should go too.
Yeah, we'll have a regular threesome.
Must be tough for Yuna.
Which the piano is like... Wait a second. No, I'm trying to talk to Oren here.
Maybe you should talk to her.
Yeah, that's what I'm going. That's what I intend to do, mister. But what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to do that in the next video. For now, I'm just going to do the sphere grid, seeing as we have quite a lot to do. The piano is like one of those movies that, when I was living in Germany and we finally learned Hastega, which is going to be crazy. So move, bitch, get out the way. When I was living in Germany, I only had like a couple of DVDs to watch. So I had like a couple of movies. So I didn't have any TV. I didn't have, well, I did have TV, but it was crappy German TV. So I basically didn't have any TV. I didn't have access to like any Netflix or anything like that. And I only had like a couple of... Wait a second, what's over here? Was I going down here to get Demi? Apparently I was. Do I really need it though? Do you know what, I might as well, because like you get these like defense things as well, which can be useful. So I only had like a couple of movies on DVD that I had with me, because I knew I was only going to be living there for a year, so there was no point in like having everything with me. And one of the movies that I had with me was the piano. So I had the piano, I had Moulin Rouge, I had I actually had all three of those Baz Luhrmann films. I had Moulin Rouge, Romeo and Juliet, and Strictly Ballroom. I had Were the World Mine. I had I had World Mine, and I had the piano. And I'm trying to think, what else did I have? Did I have like another movie? Level 4 lock, level 2 lock, but what does this lead into? Oh, Lulu's Fear Grid. So actually, you might have seen we actually got level 2 key spheres, so actually going through into other characters' sphere grids is going to be something of a reality soon enough. Especially seeing as when you look at this, we're actually not far off the the end of Riku's sphere grid as we know it. So yeah, the piano is just one of those, all of those movies, like, I pretty much used to watch them over and over again. I had The Others, that was the other one I had. So all of those films, I pretty much just used to watch them repeatedly. Like, I remember there was one week where I watched World Mine. I watched it like sometimes like twice in the same day. It was absolutely obscene. And like I remember I watched World Mine like about 7 times in 1 week, which is just crazy. And like I knew all the lines off by heart from like each of those films. But the piano is just like one of those amazing, like, visceral sort of movies. It's just like, if you haven't seen it, you have to see it. It's absolutely breathtaking. Why didn't I come over here? Oh yeah, because it's just a load of worthless garbage. Okay, well, are we finished? Okay, well, that's the sphere grid done. I'm just going to save here. I'm going to say thank you very much for waiting and for being so patient. Looking forward to completing this one with you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye now.